Okay, here we go. Whoosh. Oh, I hit the wall, but that's okay. Excuse me, passing through. Yeah, your projectile also is too big. Oh, there's something behind me. Just because you staying here is going to be bad for my health. Should not have done that, but okay. Ow, more snakes. The snakes are really bad for my health. I didn't grab that. Where is he? Oh, meteor. Not exactly what I wanted, but it worked. Oh no! I did not saw the freaking Mancuba in there. No ammunition. Oh really? That managed to hit me? Get out. And now I get out. Where is he? Meteor face. Whoa, there's a lot of armor left in here. Oh yeah, I stepped on the... Oh please, stop going up. Thank you. I don't have both ammunitions that I want. Oh, I had that much? I mean, I'll take it. Why not? Not this yet. Oh, we have a Venom. Where is he? Oh no! Freaking triangle. Okay, I'm still gonna try it. Maybe I should not. After that punch. Okay, I can rely on you. Oh, there's something behind. Why did you die? Somehow, sort of. Heart attack. Oh my, I didn't want to come up in here. Oh, the stutter. And now you don't move. Makes no sense for me, but okay. Where did you go? Oh, hello. Not a good place to be. Definitely not a good place. In heats. Laser beam. Okay, I need to do something. Where are the small enemies when I need them? Still got a lot of damage from that. Why some stuff did not gain damage? I don't know. That broken? Yeah, that broke. Okay, I have one shot of BFG missing. Where's the... Oh, there it is. Oh my, it should not be in here. Sometimes it doesn't connect and I don't know why. Maybe the hitbox for the... Oh, there we go. Okay, now... the abdomen. Because the chest is the easiest part to hit with the... with the BFG. Missed. It's counting like I'm hitting the chest. Okay, I guess. Maybe we should go higher. Doesn't look good. Can you please? Okay, it's time. If I stay alive. How did I end up here? Connect! Okay, I think there's just... What part is left? None. So the strategy that I thought worked. Ignore the monsters. Focus solely on the boss. Oh, the brain exposed. Just like on Doom 2. Oh, so that thing was not alive with the blue stuff. When we killed and he broke the sword, I thought like he was going to come back alive. He's not, he's staying dead. Oof, finally. So the strategies that I thought kind of worked. Ignore everything and focusing solely on the boss, just dealing with some enemies that to get health, armor, and with two dangerous enemies. The music.
You will be their savior. Your strength will be their shield, and your will their sword. You remain unbroken, for your fight is eternal.
And I still didn't learn why the moon is cracked. Maybe I need to read the lore. Maybe I need to read the lore that I didn't read because it was too big. Oh, I mean, I think he passed away. Oh man, it's so sad to see this. And it's also cool seeing all the people working on the game. Not only the names, but also the photos. This is really cool. And it's a lot of people too. That's why, for more than sometimes I get really... Sometimes no, I think only a few games got me really frustrated and a little grumpy in here. That's why I don't like calling, even if for getting frustrated and stuff like that. I try to be... I don't know how to say it. Not rude? I can think in a better word in English. But I try to be not rude, because being rude with the game, like calling it bad or trash or stuff like that, is saying that to the work of those people. But okay, I rented a lot in the end of the game. So let me, while we roll the credits, let me pull some of my thoughts out. First of all, for more that I had a lot of frustration with the boss fights, I think the game is still pretty good, pretty cool. I personally prefer 4 because I think it's a rounded, more enjoyable experience. But this game is also cool. But it's first starting with the thing that I did. That photo. First starting with the things that I didn't like, so I will talk about the things that I liked. Like Lucas says, leave best for the last. What I didn't like in this game, mostly boss fights. Like the first guy, the Doom Hunter, took me some time to understand how things were happening, but I eventually managed, and okay, it's kind of gimmicky, but it's still, there's a lot of stuff we can do in here. We can shoot rockets, we can shoot rockets below, shoot weapons below, or break the shield above to shoot the above part. So it's interesting. And the glory punch stuff, the bloody, I always confound this, the bloody punch stuff. But only thing I think that I only got lost in that fight with the glory punch. Bloody punch. The punch is that the first time I tried, like chat said to me, use the bloody punch. And the first time I tried, it didn't do much damage. And I was like, okay, this is not so strong and puts me in risk because I'm in close range, so I'm not going to use this. But then when they say to try again, and I tried again, I noticed the damage went up. And the amount of times that I fought that boss, I noticed that sometimes the damage was low, like very few times. So it was like I was unlucky. The very first time that I tried the stuff, the damage was low. So I thought it was useless. Not useless, but risky. But then the shield guys, the shield guys are so gimmicky because I said this a lot here on this playthrough already. I like gimmick fights, but I think that was too gimmicky. Also, one thing that I don't like, he likes to move so fast, and the other guy, he attacks so fast from such a great distance, but you need to be so precise on giving an opening for yourself to do damage. And also, I want those GPUs. She has 2, give me 1. And also, one thing that I didn't like about the shield guys is the second guy, like, you break his shield and you go, now I'm good. No, he just starts spinning his mace and is just a different shield, but it's a shield. And like, you have such a ginormous arsenal of stuff on Doom, but on those guys you can like use, I only use 2 weapons. Maybe a person more experienced in this game can use more stuff, but you can only use the quick damaging, quick and high damage weapons, and no BFG, no freeze bomb, no flamethrower. Like, he's immune to everything else. The Khan fight, I think it was a cool fight. If it didn't have the damaging floor, because you had to like move so much, dodge so much of her projectiles, dodge the minions, the like Shadai says, the piñatas. Because now they are piñatas, they not only release a lot of ammo, but also a lot of health. And what more? Yeah, you have to take care of all that stuff. Sometimes she throws that circle attack that keeps chasing you, and the deeper you go in the fight, the damaging floor gets bigger. So it's like super annoying. And the Icon scene, I kinda liked the fight, but I think it was maybe too much stuff happening. It's a cool comeback to the original fight because his visual is very similar. He summons monsters, but it's like so much tough tanky monsters. If it was like a lot of small monsters that you can dispatch, or it was like waves, like you dispatch the enemies, now you can focus a little on him, and like not a long time, a little, like give you a briefer in the fight. Because I understand the thing about Doom and Doom Eternal is about super duper quick fight, but it kind of worked when they decided to kind of ignore the monsters. But at the same time, I feel like, man, but I don't want to ignore the monsters. I like to also fight the monsters, but I can't because I have to choose, or I fight the boss or I fight the monsters. 2 at the same time, I cannot. I can't survive. It's too much to do. I don't have resources to kill everything. Even with the respawning Crucible Sword. Because that's what happened on the previous recording. Like, I was trying to kill the enemies around me so I could focus on the boss, but there was too much stuff spawning. Like, I didn't have enough Crucible Sword in the arena to do that. But it's kind of a cool fight. But, and like I always say, this is me. Probably, you know, speedrunners are people that play on ultra violent, ultra nightmare difficulty. They make all the difficulty I had looks like a freaking joke. But it's still, like I said, people think that From Software games are hard. I think this was much harder than any From Software game. And I only didn't play Demon Souls of all From Software modern games, because I know there's even older From Software games. And man, for me this was much harder. Like, From Software for me is a joke part close to this. And one thing that I didn't like, because it feels, I talked this on the stream after outside of the recording. It feels to me that they tried to solve something on the design of the game and kind of created a problem. I like the chainsaw. The chainsaw on the 4 was to kill big enemies in one hit. I barely used that because I didn't feel the need, or I felt since it was high difficulty, it was dangerous to get close to enemies to chainsaw them and get damage. And to give you ammo. I didn't feel the necessity of getting ammo, so I barely used the chainsaw. Like, if I used 3 times in the whole playthrough, it was too much. And I think the developers saw that, like they said, people are not using the chainsaw too much. So, I mean, I don't know if that's right, it's my assumption. So I think that their line of thought was, or we take out the chainsaw mechanic, because what work on this if nobody's going to use? Makes sense in a productive way. Or we change how it works so players will use it. So I think what they did is enemies don't drop any more armor. I mean, it's what they did. In Doom Eternal, enemies don't drop any more armor. Ammo, I mean. So you have to use the chainsaw to get ammo. I am not sure about this, but I think we also have less ammo capacity from Doom 4. I'm not sure, could be just perception because monsters don't drop any more ammo. So I feel like I have less ammo, but also the truth is that they're not dropping ammo, so ammo is depleting quicker. But the thing is about this is that now the only way to get ammo is by chainsawing enemies. And because of that, we always need monsters on the field. Because if you are fighting a big monster and we get out of ammo, we don't have the pistol anymore. And we need a way to dispatch the monsters. And in here is not like before that you can, like you cannot chainsaw big enemies. If you have, one few you always replenish, but if you don't have more around, you will not be able to chainsaw mid enemies, let's say like this, because I think it's small, middle, and large enemies. It's probably, I remember it's another name, but I don't remember the actual names they gave. So because of that, you can get out of ammo in the middle of the fight and kind of soft locked in the fight. Now small enemies always spawn. You cannot clear the field to fight the big enemies. There are always small enemies on the fight. So what, for example, my type of gameplay, I like to clear the field. I did this on the previous, I think. Clear the field of the small monsters so I can focus on the big ones. But you cannot do that because the enemies must be on the field so they can be ammo fuel for you. So you don't stay out of ammunition in the middle of the fight. And that kind of created a problem. You can never like have a briefer. Oh! I'll go back to this. Ah! My. Okay. This is amazing. This is amazing. Okay, let me finish my thoughts and I will move forward and see what else we have. Let me lower the volume a little so I don't get distracted. So, small enemies are always around you. And they can be a problem because they can shoot you, obviously. And they can be a barrier. So there is that. I think the most frustration that I had on Doom, aside from the bosses, is like movementation in here is the key to everything. To shoot enemies, to survive, to get resources, everything. And in here we have the freaking gargoyles and the teleporting purple enemies. They are more, I noticed, I could be wrong, but it's my perception. I noticed that they try to melee you more than the other enemies. And man, it's so annoying when you finish a glory kill or a chainsaw and you try to, dash to not get damage or something like that. And you like you pump, you notice that you didn't move like you wanted, and you notice there is a monster in there and he's freaking pump you. Like I rented before. A freaking zombie that can barely walk like his legs barely work, but if you pump him, he's steady on the place like a tree rooted to the place, or like a freaking concrete wall. I noticed that you damage them, they lose like flesh on the chest, but screw the damage. I don't care about the damage, I want them to get away. It would be cool if the dash just pumped the small enemies. I understand not moving away the big enemies because they are big, but like pump like they when you hit the shoulder of a person and she does like this, that would be something cool and less annoying, because like I said, you cannot get rid of the small enemies, so they are always on the field, so they can swarm you. And I think the last thing that annoyed me in Doom Eternal was the how much times I got frustrated because I could not move. Some fights it was because the fight was actually difficult, and I don't mind about that. I need to try again. But my frustration about some fights is like dying because I got stuck between monsters. Like there's a lot of monsters. I understand that getting stuck is also part of the gameplay, but in here it was much more than Doom 4, at least in my perception. So those are my complaints about Doom 4. The boss fights, how they changed the infinite eternal eternal spawn of enemies, never ends, and how much more enemies have melee, want to melee you, so you always are pumping your enemies and get stuck. Aside from that, it was just me retrying hard fights. Now the things I liked. I liked what they did with the armor and the healing in this game, because healing on Doom 4, it was basically on the field, it was basically useless. Like those little healings that you had around the field, like was going to give one healing. Like, man, one healing is useless, especially the higher difficulties that you get hit once and you lose what, 70 health? Like you lose a lot of health. I think most monsters 2-shot you, 3-shot you, something like that. It's like healing before was useless. It was better to heal on monsters because they drop a lot of health. And armor was, in my opinion, Doom 4 also kind of useless because it was so hard to get armor. You only get armor from the big collectible armor. Monsters, when you get that room that they drop armor, it was like one. It's again useless. One hit and I'm going to lose all that. In here, no. The collectibles give like 5 each, 25, some 50. I think I saw. I think the big one gives 50. And the flamethrower, you flamethrower the monsters to get more ammo. I wish I learned about the meat hook earlier. I didn't pay much attention to that stuff that I don't remember the name, that gives you the armor when you meat hook the enemies, because that could have made my life easier. So this one thing that I like, how they changed ammo, not ammo, no, the ammo I didn't like. I would prefer still that monsters drop ammo. I like how they changed the flamethrower, the armor, the collectibles for healing around the map. There is another stuff that I also wanted to talk. Was the armor, the healing. Oh, the ice bomb is so good. It's so good because I didn't remember to use much the grenade on Doom 4, but mostly because I didn't feel it's so useful. Because the enemies move so much, like you throw the grenade, and if they move, the grenades explode on nowhere. So, at that, again, my perception of the game. So I didn't fail to remember about doing that, but in here, it's the freaking ice bomb is so freaking useful. Holy moly. I also understand why on the start of the playthrough I thought like, man, monsters have much more accuracy here, but now I understand why. Because you have the dash. The dash can make you almost unhittable if enemies don't have more accuracy. And I kinda also understand why enemies block you a little more in here, because you have the dash. But man, the amount of times that I died because I was blocked, it's so big that was a little frustrating. Frustration for me on games is not difficulty. It's not the challenge. Frustration for me on games is like the game giving you a mechanic, but also at the same time giving you making a mechanic to counter the mechanic that it already gave you. Just like I said on the start of the playthrough, I just got the dash and then I was put precisely in a place that I could not dash. Maybe that is to try and learn to avoid that kind of terrain, or try to play with the dash to avoid that. But again, my perception, not right or wrong or good or bad. But I think the meat hook was also something really cool in here. I didn't use much because before, when I didn't know about the armor stuff, because enemies are so like, I know this is a game, but for me at least, feels the game as a little more interesting when you give some resemblance of activity to the monsters. Like in here, when I get close to monsters, they instantly melee me. A lot of times I try to sword the mancubi, but they instantly melee the ground, and when they do that, you get pushed away, and I like missed, because the moment I got near to them, they instantly melee, and I missed because I was pushed away. So that wise, I didn't feel like using the meat hook too much, because in my head was like, this is dangerous. I'm going to get close to enemies and they are going to retaliate. So, not going to use that. I liked also, another thing that I just remembered that I liked, the weak points stuff. Like the ballista being stronger against flying enemies. If only we have like only two, but okay. And the pain elemental is so freaking tanky in here. But I think it could be a little better implemented, I don't know, my opinion. Because breaking the weak points of the Arachnatron and the Revenant make they try to melee you much more. And I don't want that, stay away from me. It was cool, like the making the Kako swallow the grenade. Shame we cannot do that with the pain elemental, because man, the pain elemental is so tanky in here, and he shoots Lost Souls so quickly. Lost Souls just became a projectile. They are not summons anymore. I like what they did with the Archvile. Archvile is so freaking cool looking. Also the pain elemental. But his mechanic is cool, like, since enemies, the body of the enemy despawns because of graphic stuff. And so he cannot revive the corpses like on the original game. He summoned enemies. I think it's a little hard on the player to summon buffed enemies like a totem. But if you focus the Archvile is not so bad, but you need to focus the archive. You need to forget everything and go directly to the archive. What other stuff that I like? The dash is a welcome stuff. Also, the dash. I tried to talk this on the stream and I forgot. I think Doom, at least Doom Eternal, was not planned or made thinking on controllers, because like you need to be so quick in here. But like to pull the sword, I need to lose the thumb for the movement. To change the mod, I need to stop moving. To change the grenade, I also need to stop moving. So maybe that's also why I didn't use the grenade much or change the grenade. Because I need to stop moving, I need to release my thumb. And the sword, not the sword, the dodging, the jumping, you need to release this thumb to press X, to press circle. So maybe that's why I had a harder time with Doom. I don't know, could be saying a lot of bullshit, but that's what we do. That's what we do on streams and stuff. We say sometimes good stuff, sometimes bullshit. Sometimes there's stuff that is not neither of those. But it feels like it was totally not planned for a controller. The controller is just adaptation, because there's so much stuff that you need to release your thumbs to do. The flamethrower, the sword was... What did Square did? Oh, the Square was the chainsaw. So it's kind of hard to move so much with just one finger, because even if I don't like to play with keyboard and mouse, not because I think it's bad, I can totally agree that it's much better for FPS. For me, Doom Eternal just show this, because you probably can like move in here and use thumb to jump. That's why people are bunny hopping so much on shooters online, because you have the thumb free to hit space to jump. Also nowadays we have thumb buttons on the mouse that can also help. I still didn't learn to use the thumb buttons on my mouse because I'm not used to that. This is the first mouse in years that I have that has thumb buttons, and I don't play games on PC because I can't. But back to the point at hand, whatever. It's hard to move, to jump and dodge with the controller, because I need to lose the aim. Maybe I should have changed the buttons, but I don't know how that would work. But why did I talk about this again? I think I lost my... I lost my line of thought. I think I was talking about how hard was to move. I think Doom Eternal in most ways it's upgrade from the base, from the first game, whatever. I never know how to call that game. From Doom 4. I think Eternal is an upgrade from Doom 4. Even if there's some stuff that I personally don't like. It's just like, my opinion is just the boss fights that I really prefer the first one. They are gimmick, like the Cyber Demon, that sometimes you need to stop shooting and focus on dodging and protecting yourself. Those two, what were they? Crucible Guardians? I don't remember the name. Also the Spider Mastermind, shame she's not back in here. They brought the Cyber Demon back with Tyrant name, because that one before was the actual Cyber Demon. And he was much cooler too. Even if I like the comeback of the original design as a monster in here, I think that Cyber Demons was really on point. Also the Spider Mastermind. But I think I prefer the previous ones because it was not so like freaking crazy. My head is going crazy because there's so much stuff on the map. But in the overall, I'm really like Doom Eternal. Even if, you know, we are different, people are different, we might disagree on our opinions. Even if I might have opinions that disagree with you guys, I try to be like not a jerk, be fair with the game, with things I liked and why I did not like, and not just I didn't like that because reasons. Like for me, the spawning mechanic on the icon I've seen, for me that if a developer comes to me and explain why that, because there's probably why. Developers do stuff on games thinking on why. But if without an explanation, I don't see a reason. Like Shabtai said, to conjure the damaging floor. Like the guy just shoots meteors from the sky without anything. He can just conjure fire from nowhere. He shoots fires from his hands just like Iron Man. Why he needs to kill the demons. It also felt like really bizarre, that mechanic, because it was with no timing. Like I saw sometimes, I think I talked about this on the Mirror of the Fight, he conjure monsters to kill the monsters, then to conjure again. Like, what? Nani? It would make sense in a way, like, I conjure the monsters, oh no, the monsters are losing. So okay, before I die I'm going to make something with them, like make them explode and do damage or something like that. Because I think that was sometimes happening when I was too near to them, they would explode, I think, and give me damage. But happening like this, like conjure to kill to conjure again, it was like, what? Like I think I talked this on the middle of the fight. It felt like we have a chessboard. I'm going to take out the pieces to put the pieces again. Why you did that? So you can play chess, but we could play chess before. The pieces are already on the table. And I think that's all for my opinions on Doom. Oh, also I didn't like what they did with the auto map. I just remember about it. They are like kind of useless, because as far as I remember on Doom 4 and the original games, finding the auto map was about, oh, I found the auto map, now I don't need to scatter the map for secrets. I know where they are, I just need to go to them. It felt the same way from Doom 4. In here, the auto map is just in your path. And when the auto map reveals the map, is just show the map. You look at some secrets, the auto map, some secrets the map helps to reach. But some was like, okay, the secret's in the middle of nowhere. I still have to look around. Would be interesting maybe if the auto map showed the secrets. I don't know. I sincerely don't know what opinion I could do on that, but I didn't like what they did with the auto map. I said that I didn't like the backtracking, but then I noticed there was the fast travel. I didn't got that. I only got that in the end of the game, so that's cool because you lost something. I just wonder how this works on. I don't know. I saw how you use that. You press a button and opens the waypoints you can travel. So that probably can throw you like to when you sometimes you teleport to an area and doesn't show that area you are before in the map anymore. It makes you feel like I cannot go back there anymore, but maybe you go with the fast travel. But I would prefer in my opinion, the old auto map. The auto map to also be a secret, and when you find that, it helps you to find the rest of the secrets. I think it's more interesting. Like I always say, my opinion. There's something else that I can remember that I would like to talk about. Maybe the game shows me something. Maybe there will be more. Oh, we are back to the fortress. Maybe you have some post stuff? More story stuff? I would like that. After all this... after all this babbling. Let's see. Game complete, congratulations, have beaten the Eternal. I think I deserve a freaking trophy, not for completing the game, but for having patience. Because man, I was so frustrating. I think the last time we tried to fight this boss, I think the whole stream was just the boss fight. 3 hours of that, just me hitting my head against the wall. You can now continue exploring the Fortress of Doom and acquiring any items in mission selection. You can also continue to test your skill by playing our competitive battle mode or by jumping to master levels, which are challenge remixes of the campaign missions, designed to truly test your mastery. I would like to do that, but I'm probably going to do that off stream because I need a pause from this. Do Eternal is too freaking quick for me. I don't know if it's for me or it's because I play on a controller. I hope it's because of the controller. That's my hoping here. Maybe in the future we will try to, if I get Doom and I manage to get a GPU, we might try to play on a keyboard and mouse, but that will also need some time for me to get used to the keyboard and mouse because I don't play on a keyboard and mouse from years now. Maybe more than 10 or even more. Which are new master levels are that regularly, so be sure to check often.
Pure maker technology, inspired by Sentinel weaponry and refined by their divine intellect. Its destructive potential is staggering.
Yeah, we didn't use... Because I don't know, I didn't feel like it was a good choice to use the Unmaker. Maybe it would be a good... I even forgot about it. Maybe it would be a good choice to use the Unmaker on the icon I've seen, but on the rest, I think the BFG is much better because it kills everything. You don't need to aim. You just need to shoot. It's super powerful. Anything changed?
This is the Resistance Network, in what will hopefully be our final broadcast. To all the people of Earth, to anyone listening, the demonic horde has been defeated. The beast, identified by ARC scientists as the icon of sin, was destroyed earlier today by the Slayer himself. And with it, the majority of the demonic force has dispersed. With the threat decreased, it is important now more than ever that we come together. There is hope. The human race will persevere. Many of the survivors believe the Slayer to be a godlike figure in what was a battle between good and evil of biblical proportions. As humanity struggles to understand what happened to them and why, many look to the Slayer now for answers, but his whereabouts remain unknown.
Man, there's a freaking fortress flying on the orbit of Earth. I mean, this is not demon stuff, as far as I know. I think that's all. There's nothing else we can do in here, right? I don't have batteries. I mean, I can do this just because we are here. Because why not? I have points. I don't have any more coins to bypass the challenges. No, not this that I wanted. Yeah, I think that's all. And that's also one thing that I didn't like. Like, we have more Sentinel armor coins than we actually need. It feels like if you explore, you're going to find stuff earlier, but if you don't explore, it doesn't matter. You're going to find everything you need anyway. I mean, in my opinion, of course, it's always my opinion. I'm not a game developer. But it feels like if I'm going to explore, I like exploring, but it's also cool to explore because of the reward. So yeah, that's one thing that I also didn't like. But one thing that I would also say is that if you're going to play Doom Eternal, I think ultra violence is enough. Can we change? Yeah, ultra violence is enough if you want a challenge. It's probably like enough to be a challenge and not too frustrating. But I think that's all for Doom Eternal. After, I think it took me 1 hour in the first recording, then 3 more hours, and now some minutes because this is a separate recording. But let's say that took me a pretty big time to manage to pass through this boss. Holy moly! Oh, I never got. I think the last time I got frustrated like this with a game was the first time that I played Sekiro. The first time I played Sekiro, I played it very poorly because I barely used the yeah, that's also this. I'm going to talk about this because I barely used the prosthetics. That was my fault. You know, I had that old gamer thinking. Like, I'm not going to use this now because I might need it in the future. Like the stuff that you would get to use the prosthetics. You know, gamer stuff. I'm going to save these potions because I might need them later. And then you finish the playthrough with thousands of potions that you never use. Because you're dumb. But man, I think the last time I got frustrated like this with a game was like Sekiro, the first time I played it, because I played it poorly. A little with Elden Ring, because I think the last bosses of Elden Ring was a little annoying with all the grabbing and all the two mechanics that I didn't like on Elden Ring bosses. The too much grabbing and the late attack, what I call late attack mechanic. Like the boss raises his hand and you go like, you're going to attack? And he stays like that, spinning like a planet, and you go, why are you going to attack? And then suddenly, boom! Like totally messes with your time. But like I already says, my opinion. I really like Elden Ring, but not much on the late in the game. And also about the Ancient Gods. Unfortunately, we are not going to play it now. Because I don't, like I said before, I cannot afford the DLCs. They are expensive here in my country. Also, right now I think it's a good stuff because I need to play something else. I am really frustrated with Doom. I need a pause. I need to go to some game else, something else, a little more slower, a little more chill. I don't know, maybe in the future. I just don't know if maybe in the future I will play on Nightmare, because I value my fun more than posting videos on YouTube. Hey, I finished this game on Nightmare, look at me. No, I'm here to have fun. And also I want to give a little apologize to you guys seeing this recording about my frustration, because even if like people on chat say to me, man, you're human, it's normal to sometimes get frustrated and angry with difficult games, it's normal. I don't like getting frustrated, not only because of my fun with the games, also because of you guys. Because my idea with my videos and my streams and playthroughs is about sharing the fun. And sometimes I'm thinking like, if I'm grabbling and ranting too much, I'm cutting that away from the stream. Like I'm making like, you know, bringing bad vibes. But anyway, thanks for the patience with me, and sorry about all the ranting and stuff. I hope even with all my ranting grumpiness, I hope you guys had fun with our Doom playthrough. Also, not Doom playthrough, the Doom franchise playthrough, because this is the last game at the time of this recording. So, that will be it for a Doom franchise playthrough. I hope you guys enjoyed, even with all my ranting. I hope you guys had fun. And I will be back on our next playthrough. That is probably going to be some chill games. And we're going to go for God of War. And I hope to see you guys there. And I hope also you enjoyed that too. So, thank you everyone for watching. And I will see you guys on our next playthrough. Take care everyone. And bye bye.